Hi everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and tonight we're going to talk about the shit show that was the first presidential debate of the season. On the left side of the screen, we had Donald Trump representing the Republican Party. To be completely honest here, I thought Donald actually did really well for the first half hour of the debate. Surprising to me, because I think he's an idiot, but he held his own. He did a good job, got in a few one-liners that really highlighted problems with Clinton. Then the question came up about cybersecurity. Clinton gave a somewhat decent answer to fighting international cybercrime and blamed Russia for it. This set Donald Trump up for an excellent slam. All he had to do was point out that Hillary didn't seem too concerned about cybersecurity when she was Secretary of State, as her emails show. Granted, he'd already got a zinger in on the emails, but this was the perfect setup for it. When they were talking about how he wouldn't release his tax returns, there was another great line that he could have done. Instead of the emails, he could have pointed out that she refuses to release the transcripts from speeches she's given to Wall Street, the people she's bashing but has taken a shit ton of money from. But the turning point for Trump was really that question about Putin, the question about cybersecurity, and instead of going after Clinton in a real way, he said that for all we know it was 400-pound guys at home doing the hacking. Even if true, it was just such a shit answer, and from there, I don't think Trump ever really recovered. He never really gave a good answer past that. He talked a lot, he talked loudly, he was forceful, but he didn't say much. So overall, I say I would give him probably a C- in his debate. He started out with a solid A and just fucked himself from there. So solid C-. On the right side of the screen, representing the Democrats, we had Hillary Clinton. Now, Hillary, I don't think ever got off the ground. She didn't do anything to really hurt herself, but I don't think she did anything that's going to sway anybody into her corner. I think this debate shows clearly that her campaign knows that the more she speaks, the less she's liked, so they were trying to limit the damage. She spent most of her debate trying to come up with lines for a meme. That's what the trumped-up trickle-down economics line was all about. It almost seemed as though she was actually fighting Pepe the Frog in this debate rather than Donald Trump. And it's understandable. She sees Pepe as a horrific person, a terrible racist, and someone who needs to be defeated. But it didn't serve us as the viewers or the American public very well. She was very personal in her attacks, and this is the kind of thing that people have been saying Donald Trump does, and she's going to get a pass for it like Democrats always do. But just being perfectly fair here, I don't think she hurt herself with anybody that may have been thinking about voting her, and I certainly don't think she turned off any of her actual voters. So she maintained an even keel, but she had some help, which we will get to in just a moment. So for Clinton herself, I'm going to say a C. She didn't take any real chances. She didn't show that she was a natural leader. Basically, she played it safe and tried to get in some sound bites. So C for Clinton, but with an asterisk. And finally in the middle, representing the press and should be representing the American people, we had Lester Holt, the debate moderator. Oh God, he was horrible. He was just absolute shit. I'm not just talking about how he let Trump walk all over him, which was bad enough. As a debate moderator, he should have stepped in more forcefully. But if you start at the very beginning of the debate, the first question, Clinton was asked, Trump got to respond, Clinton got a rebuttal. Second question was asked of Trump, Hillary got to respond, Trump rebutted, and Hillary was given a chance to respond again. Basically, instead of representing the people or the press, Lester was out there representing Clinton. He repeatedly fact-checked Donald Trump, and many times it was legitimate, but he never did that to Clinton, and she lied several times. One of the final questions of the debate, where Lester asked Trump about saying that Hillary didn't look presidential, was set up as a gotcha to help Hillary Clinton out. First, there's more to looking presidential than just how you actually appear. Appearance can include how you act, and it's hard to justify saying that Hillary has acted presidential with some of the shit she's done. We know for a fact she lied about her email server. We know that when referring to people dead in Benghazi, she said, "What does it matter now?" We also know that she came out and said that victims of rape should be believed until somebody asked her about her husband. And this is probably one of the biggest things that shows what's wrong with Hillary, is that for her and her friends, she thinks there's different sets of rules, in this case, her and her husband. None of that makes her look presidential. Granted, Trump dropped the ball on this one. He should have fucking nailed that ball and sailed it. Hillary is as bad a candidate as Trump is. The two of these people are fucking horrible, and people like Lester Holt are the reason we have them as our candidates. Recent polls show that trust in the American media is at the lowest point it's ever been in since they started taking the poll. And people like Lester Holt are why. He was not there as an unbiased moderator. He was there as part of Team Clinton. It's undeniable. The way he acted was absolutely horrific. The only reason Clinton got her C is because Lester was in her corner. So while I give Clinton a C and Trump a C minus, I give Lester an A plus for the Clinton team, but an absolute fucking failure as part of an unbiased media or as a decent moderator because he was absolute shit. Him and people like him are the reason we're even in this mess, and the least he could do is step up now and treat both candidates equally, which nobody watching this can say he did. The only way you could possibly say he was objective would be if you are an absolute fucking moron or a completely blind sheep. There is no in-between in this case. And that's going to wrap up my coverage of the debate tonight. I believe that Clinton won barely, but with an assist from the media, so I don't think it really counts. I don't think either candidate really helped themselves. I don't think either really hurt themselves. I think it showcased just how bad both of these candidates are. I think it gives us a good reason to question the press, and an absolutely wonderful reason to consider a third party or a write-in vote. I'm the Ranting Monkey. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit that like button, consider subscribing, share with your friends, and I'll see you next time.